Welcome one and all to ZTK, or not ZTKM, but ZKM. Taka just left for some volleyball at the YMCA, and we're going to do NBA contracts because my dad grew up with from
Bill Russell,
Will
Chamberlain,
and those contracts, 1 year like $1 million.
Yeah, that was high paid. Was
Yep.
$1 million.
Yep.
Zach, get your phone and check what Bill Russell's contract was his last year in the NBA, because I'm the one that wanted to bring this topic up because I just can't get over how much money NBA basketball players are making compared. Well, I know I'm old, but based on what they used to make in the old days. And if a person like Bill Russell is playing nowadays, how much he'd be making? Because I see. Go ahead.
It says Bill Russell's highest annual salary was $100,000.
$100,000. Yep.
And you know how much players make in one game? Is $100,000.
Pretty much.
Like
It's
Russell Westbrook
unbelievable.
is making like $50,000.
$50,000 a game because they play 80 games and they're making $40 million. So that's $50,000 a game.
$50,000. So in 2 games, he makes as much as Bill Russell ever made.
Highest contract.
Highest contract.
So that's why I kind of want to talk about it. It's just, I find it unbelievable that what these NBA players are making nowadays. I mean, it's good for them. It's good for them. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's
even Larry Bird's highest annual was only $7 million.
Yeah,
Larry Bird.
That's like a decent bench player.
You want to pull up the?
Well, I was going to talk a little bit more because we got 14 more days, 2 more weeks till the season starts
for NBA basketball.
Basketball.
So it's coming up.
And I think I've talked about it in the previous NFL sports talk, is that they extended the season to be a shorter off season because they want to be able to have players be able to rest and not have back-to-back games anymore.
Yeah.
They can go and have some breaks in between. There's not going to have to rest as many players. Also,
I think last year the Pacers had 12 sets of games that were back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, a couple of things with the rules and changing it up. They got rid of the lottery thing now. It's 3 teams. The top 3 teams are splitting up their percentages. Yeah. It's now 14%, 14%, and 14%.
Which I think is good for basketball. I think that's good because the bottom team, tanking can be equally divided now between 3 teams.
Yep.
Pretty much it's just one team tanking all the way.
And then
that's good.
And then the 4th ranked team is 12.5.
12.5, okay.
So then it just trickles down after that, 9%. And then,
that's good.
And then the last team that has a chance to get a player is to get the first pick in the draft is the ranked 14th team, and it's like a 0.4.
Oh, yeah, that's the same. That's what it's been. It's been 14.
14 for a while now. So that way, if anything above 15 to 30, they don't have any chance.
Because it makes sense. Because if you're in the playoffs,
you should be up for the first pick.
Yep. Which makes sense.
So we planning to let these guys know. We planning on doing a couple more basketball talks in before.
Yeah, before then. Yeah.
Season starts.
Yep. Yeah, we got this week and then next week, and then essentially we'll be able to start talking about basketball
and
after that, injuries
people
and
coming back. Okay.
Yep.
Because somebody's hurt right now for the Pacers, Glenn Robinson, he's out for 8 weeks.
Yep.
So some players may be out for the start of the season.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yep.
That's good.
Right on. Well, let's go ahead and we have the top 25 players in with contracts, and I'll just go ahead and say each of them, how much their money is guaranteed throughout the years. And like what Zach said, like with Blake Griffin, it's $132 million, but the player option is an extra $40 million, so it would be essentially $172 million or something like that. Something like that. So the early terminations or player options, they're worth a lot more than what it shows, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Russell Westbrook, $233 million. Stephen Curry.
Let's just talk about them as we go.
As we go then.
That way we don't have to just say them on.
Yeah. Okay.
6 years for $233 million really isn't that bad for arguably the best point guard in the game right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he won the MVP. It's hard not to pay him money.
Triple-double.
Yeah,
40 average triple-double. I personally think for OKC it was a tremendous deal. They got themselves a tremendous deal. He could have easily gone free agent after this year.
Yeah.
And then he could have gone to another team and made at that time
You can't really make.
We're not sure how much.
Yeah, you can't make as much as what they offered him.
Because Kyle's explained that to me that there's a super max contract and a
regular max
contract.
Yep.
So, but I think the OKC made themselves
a good deal. Oh yeah,
$33 million.
The guy that has been with you since the beginning. He's one of the best players in the league. Easily a top 10, if top 5.
I mean, he won the MVP.
And again, a triple-double.
Say he was number 1.
And there's a possibility that this year he could go and get another triple-double again.
Do it again.
As long as he stays healthy. I mean, I don't see why not.
He's got offensive weapons and some defensive weapons.
Paul George,
Yeah.
And then Steven Adams is not a bad center.
So that will help defensively, yeah.
We'll talk about Steven Adams.
Coming up.
Coming up.
But I think it's a great contract. I think he made himself some money. And
so you got to keep him.
Did all right.
Yep.
And I think my point that I was saying earlier is that the NBA has a lot of money to give out. I'm just astounded by $233 million. It's like winning the freaking lottery.
Some teams weren't even worth that. Little
I know.
Like one player.
I know.
What's crazy is that next year and the year after that, until 21-22, every year the team's salary caps getting more and more and more and more.
They can pay more players
make more money. Yep.
See, on top of Westbrook, if you look at our list, Carmelo Anthony and Paul George aren't even on
this list.
list.
Well, that's just because these are the total contracts.
For
Paul George only has 1 year
left.
So
he becomes a free agent. So his year, but their wage, if he signs with the OKC, the salaries that OKC's going to pay out are going to be
at the wazoo.
And Carmelo Anthony.
Like if Paul George does an All NBA, gets on the All NBA teams, one of the 3, 1, 2, or 3 tier All NBA, they can give him Supermax. That's $200 million again. That's $400 million between 2 players.
Yeah, and then
if Carmelo does it again too, that's $600 million in 3 players.
Yeah, now these two will have to explain to me about the salary. Is there a salary cap in the NBA?
The salary cap, yeah.
A team can only spend so much, and that's what's going up each year.
Yep.
Okay.
So that they don't have to worry. Like since they're paying Wilson $40 million a year, they're still gonna have like $80 million to spread
out the rest of the players.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So eventually they're not gonna be able to pay all
3 of them if they are to get. So if they were to get the super max, they probably couldn't afford that.
Same. And the next player's a perfect example of that, Steph Curry.
Yep.
Because he's on a team that's got superstars on it.
Yep.
So eventually, some of these players are going to have to go.
Yeah, Durant's even taking a reduction though.
He's only $24 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So.
And Klay Thompson said that he's going to take a salary, not salary, but he's going to take a pay cut so he can stay with them.
Okay. Well, that's
because they were asking him because I think he only has this year and
I think he's
maybe even next year. No,
I don't know. It's pretty soon.
Soon. It's either this year or next year. Klay Thompson he could have asked for $40 million, but he said he's going to take a pay cut to stay with them.
They'd have 5 players on their team.
Yep, they're getting huge
money.
money. Yep.
Okay. Speaking of that, Steph Curry.
Oh yes. Well, that's what we were just talking about.
Oh wow. $201 million.
$201 million, yeah. 30 mil
for 5 years. Yeah, I would definitely.
That was
$34 million.
Another good deal for the Golden State Warriors.
I mean, they got him so cheap and they were paying him for so little for so long.
What was it? $8 million?
It was like $10 million or something
Yep.
like that on his rookie contract.
They got their money
Yep.
ripped out of him.
Because he was like the 12th, 15th pick somewhere in between there.
Yep.
So his
Like
rookie contract wasn't very
his
much.
No.
contract wasn't
And then they kept on doing team option. That way they can save even more money instead of
Making a contract
extension. They
Giving him a
just kept on doing team option. It's only like $8 million a year.
So in a way, the Warriors were kind of cheap with them a little bit.
Yep.
They should have given him a contract
Sooner.
before this.
Yep. But Curry was nice enough to allow him to have that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to James Harden.
He just got a re-sign for about 2 months. He was the highest paid, biggest contract,
Yep.
and then Russell Westbrook just signed his contract.
Took his place. Yeah.
Yep.
So
$220. That's another
He's another player that is definitely
worth
the
the $228 million.
Yep. The guy that he initially broke that, getting the triple-double and had 52 points or something like that. And then Westbrook did it also. He had a 50-point game, and he had 10 points and 10 assists. And it was just, they played excellent during the season.
They really
He's
did.
Definitely a great competitor for MVP.
Oh, yeah.
Every year. Yeah.
The only
2 years in a row, he could have been MVP.
The only thing I want to see him make it where it's definitely worth his contract, if not be able to get even more next year, is you gotta start playing some damn defense. Good God, it is
he chooses
awful.
not to play any defense.
If you watch any of his games, he just watches the guy, and then they're like, trying to rebound, and they're trying to pass it back out and play defense. He just watches until somebody scores, and he just takes off the other way.
Yeah. He conserves his energy just to play.
Offense. Yep,
Yeah.
and that's people call LeBron one of the greatest, but his career has completely turned the opposite direction because he used to be all defense. I mean, reason why he blamed the Heat losing is that all he was going to do is just play defense while he was going to allow Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to play offense against Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
Right.
And then his career has completely changed where he doesn't play defense anymore.
Now he plays offense.
He plays offense all the time. He'll go and allow his player to walk by and then come back down the other side and dunk and pass and like that. So it's totally just different. And I hope James Harden can play a little bit more defense.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Worth that contract. It'd be nice to see a little bit more.
They're paying him to score points, I guess.
Yep.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yep.
And assists.
I think John Wall is worth more than this.
Even a
$207
better
million.
deal. Yeah, $207 million.
In his defense, though, compared to the other players, it is like his team is emerging. where I feel like the other teams have been there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like the Wizards just kind of took up into that top tier. Like where the Cavaliers and Celtics had it dominated. Now and the Raptors.
The Wizards are starting.
Yeah,
now the
really
Wizards
get there.
are getting up there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
he's the one that's going to lead them
Yeah.
to that thing. $207 million. That's a good deal by the Wizards, I think. Too.
Like what Zach and I talked about, we see John Wall as the true number one point guard in the league.
Yeah, he actually assists and brings the ball down the court.
Yep.
And
he doesn't have his score
for assists first than he does scoring.
Yep.
But his scoring has improved.
Yeah, he is. And he's went from people back off of him on the 3-point line to where they're going to have to start playing some defense on him on the 3-point line.
Tremendous. Yeah.
He's gotten only better every year.
He really has.
I remember when he first started in the NBA, he was kind of scary. He couldn't shoot. I was going to think he's going to be a bench player. He's that bad.
He hadn't hardly shot a 3-pointer because he couldn't even hit it. Yeah, so now he's shooting them. His offense has really improved. It really has. He's a good player.
Okay, moving on to Blake Griffin. He just signed the extension. Like what we just mentioned at the beginning, is that it's $132 million and then player option with the $40 million. So if I was him, I'd just accept that and then get $40 million just play.
And then sign another contract.
Yeah.
I don't mind that as much, but I feel like even 4 years for him, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
A player that's just like above average.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, he's going to be
I
a
think he's-
starter for any team, and they would probably work their offense around
Him,
him.
yep.
But it's just he's not that great defensively.
No.
His athleticism has decreased a lot
He's-
since he first came
He's
in.
been hurt a little bit,
He's-
hasn't he? Yeah.
And I don't. That's a lot of money to pay
yeah.
somebody you can't.
I was
revolve
really
your
shocked
team
when he got
around.
that contract. I was really surprised the Clippers gave him that.
Well, they don't
I know
want to lose
lost-
him.
They
Yeah.
lost
They
Chris
They
Paul.
lost
Paul, yep.
Paul. They
So-
didn't want to go to complete garbage.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
they'd have to center
but-
their offense around Jordan.
I don't
and-
think he's the type of guy you can build a team around, though. Blake Griffin,
No.
he's not a scoring machine or nothing.
Couple things. Blake Griffin, his career has changed to when he first was in the league. Like what Zach was saying, very athletic. He actually rebounded.
Oh,
He
yeah.
seemed like he played a little bit of defense when he
Uh-huh.
started.
Well, it was
Little-
just his
Listen,
athleticism.
he can
Athleticism
block
just
shots.
block
Yeah.
shots. He
Oh, yeah.
was able to rebound, and he's changed to where he's actually dribbling the ball.
Ball,
He's
making-
passing it. He's shooting medium range
Range
shots.
shots, yeah.
He's changed so much.
I think because he's lost his athleticism.
Athleticism.
he's
Yep.
changed to more of a traditional
Power forward, yep.
You can't just run down the lane and just jump
Dunk.
over everybody.
Small forward.
Yep.
Which
He's
may
changed.
end up making him, may make him a better player.
Player,
As long as he
and
can
he's going to be
shoot.
able to prolong his career
It's-
much
yeah.
longer too.
Especially with DeAndre Jordan in the paint.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be so active. In
Always
the
have
paint.
to get all the rebounds and stuff like that. Yeah.
Speaking of DeAndre Jordan, I had read that the Clippers and DeAndre Jordan are talking contract extension, so
Wow.
that's going to help them out if they can retain him for
They're gonna
set-
almost,
like 3 more
have
years.
To. They almost
Yep.
have to in a
Yep.
way. Yeah.
Because they go and they
Need to
were
have-
like DeAndre Jordan. He was going to go sign with the Mavericks, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
he turned on him and went and signed with the Clippers.
Right.
You might as well re-sign him now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose him because you spent that much
He
money in
may-
the first place.
He may end up go back
Yep.
to the
Mavericks.
Mavericks or
Yep.
something. Yeah.
A player that got left off of this list, who just signed his contract, would be Andrew Wiggins.
Oh yeah, 148 million.
For how many years?
5.
5.
years.
Yep.
And we talked about him.
Yeah, that's way too much.
God.
So
for
too
somebody
much.
who hasn't shown
So-
the potential
Yeah.
that he's
At
supposed
all.
to have.
Yeah, I know he's young, but come on, this is a lot of money to pay a guy that's
That gives you 20 points a game.
maybe. Yeah, he did.
He
did.
actually got that many points, but overall his game is
But
just not
he-
that good.
No.
And especially with getting Butler and
Yeah.
Cat in recent years,
Yep.
like I feel like his effectiveness is going to even decrease
Drop
more.
even more,
Bit
yep.
more, yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have signed
Yeah,
that kind of
that's a
contract.
lot of money to spend on him.
Yeah.
That's another team, though. If you think about it, they're going to have to pay a lot of money out.
Oh yeah.
If they're right
Cat,
paying Wiggins
right
that
there.
much money, Towns is going
I-
to go for
Cat and Butler are both up
Maybe
for super contracts.
super max contracts
Yep.
if they can play the way they've been playing.
Yep.
So you're looking at
I would.
$400 million, $550 million
Yep.
for 3 players.
Yep.
I
I would
think,
sign Cat as soon as I
oh,
could.
Yeah.
Like right now, I would actually talk contract extension
Yeah.
just to make where you can
Well, yeah, if
pay
they-
cheaper with
you
him.
can get
Yeah,
him.
if they did it now, it'd be a good idea.
Yeah,
Instead
he's
of
probably not
taking-
going to go for it.
No,
He's gonna try to get
he's-
that much
well, he wants that
that
max.
rookie contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's-
But at the same time, you still have like 2 or 3 more years with his rookie
Rookie
contract.
contract.
And that's pretty cheap for you, so that helps.
But what they did, though, they made a mistake because they spent money on Wiggins when you think you may end up spending money on Towns and Butler. So you kind of didn't they make a mistake in a way because they used some of their money they could use on if there's a salary cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, won't they
whenever
lose
the
somebody?
whenever the other because
That their contracts go up.
Butler is for this year and next year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
There's a couple
yeah.
years.
And
yeah.
Towns has 2 plus a player option.
The team
or
option, I
Team
think,
option
yeah.
for his rookie.
So they got a
Yep.
little bit of
So
time,
they've
I
got
guess.
a little
Little
bit of
wiggle
time.
room.
Based on the way the
Salary
money
cap's
round is
supposed to
going
go
up.
Yep.
over the next
I mean,
few
these guys
years.
are pretty smart. They kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It just seemed like an awful lot of money to pay a guy when you got to pay 2 other guys
Yep.
Who
that are better than you.
Significantly better. There's not even close.
Well, what that does, the way I look at it, Butler and Towns, they're looking way past Wiggins, of course.
Yep.
But they saw what Wiggins got.
Yep.
They're going,
hello.
oh boy, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yep.
Of course, they were going to make more than him anyway.
What's funny is that
Right.
the guy that just got the 148 million is a cheap man's Jimmy Butler, and they just got
Right.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
like,
he's a
he's like a worse version of Jimmy Butler.
Butler's
Like he's trying to be clutch, he's trying to do all this for his team, but he doesn't do it.
He's skinny, and he's kind of a average player.
Yep.
So Butler's thinking, yes, I'm going to make a lot of money.
Well,
Okay, we're on to who are we on to?
Damian Lillard, $115 million.
That's a tremendous deal for Portland.
Yeah,
that's a tremendous
He signed
deal.
at a bad time. That's things for him.
How many years
Yeah,
has he got?
he signed it like right after they let LaMarcus Aldridge leave,
Oh.
and it's like 4 years.
4 years
Four years?
left.
Yep, 4 years left. Yep.
So,
Yeah, he signed it right after they let Aldridge walk. They're like, we need to sign you because we can't let
They did, and
Aldridge.
they got themselves a good deal.
Excellent deal.
His total was 5 years for $140 million.
So
he's getting paid less than Wiggins.
Wow.
Like-
See, and he's a lot better player than Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah,
He's the leader of
he
their
has
team.
some ice in his veins.
He's
He
an
goes
all-star.
clutch and makes.
Was he a All NBA?
No, I don't think
through
so.
third team?
I don't know.
I don't know if
He might have been like a third one, but
he's a tremendous player.
Yep.
I mean, he's good enough. He should be making more.
Yep.
than that. Let's just
Yep.
say that. That's a heck of a deal.
let's move on to Mike Conley, $113 million, and then he has a player or an early termination for 2021.
Well, see, that 113 is only for 3 more years. That's only 3 more years because
3
he was
more years.
making $30 million a year.
Yeah, $30 million a year. Yep.
Which was unbelievable
Yep.
at the time, but
Yep.
now it's not that
It's
big
not that
a deal,
much.
I guess.
It really isn't.
So that doesn't sound like very much, 113 million.
Yep.
But for 3 years, he's a decent player, but he's not. I don't think he's worth no 113 million. But
Yeah, the early termination I think is another $30 million,
30
so it's like
million,
$143 million. I think is
Yeah.
what he could make.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Making more than Lillard is
Still,
down. Lillard
I know.
is a way better player.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, Conley has gotten better the past 2 years, but
Didn't they have to pay Conley though? There's some sort of deal that every team has. They have to pay all their money out for their
oh, I know what you're talking about. Like they had to hit a certain part of their salary cap,
It's
and
part
so
of-
they did
that's
that
part
with
of the
him.
NBA agreement is that they have to
Like you have to hit like I think the salary cap's $100 million, and I
you
think
have to
they
pay
had
out the
been
whole 100 million.
Yep.
Because I mean, the only 2 players on their team that they even have to pay are Mike Conley and Marc Gasol.
Gasol,
The
yep.
rest
Gasol,
of
so
their
I think-
team are all replaceable.
So I heard they paid Conley because they
Didn't have
any
anywhere else. Yep.
So
Yeah.
you
Yep.
don't want to pay the other bozos.
no.
I mean,
More
that makes
money.
sense because Gasol was still like in the middle of his contract.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
and Conley was coming to the end.
So Conley was real lucky.
Yep, we're lucky again.
I mean, like Kyle said, he's been doing better.
But
But he's still not like,
Lillard.
113 million.
He's not a Lillard
Or John
Curry
Wall
or
or
anything
John
up
Wall.
there.
And I don't know how much better he's going to be able to get with the players around
same
him.
team that
the
they
team
have.
they have.
Yeah.
I don't. Jermichael Green hasn't still signed a contract. We've already talked about that
Yeah.
before, and that's a player they need to sign because they allowed Zach Randolph to walk.
Yeah.
They don't have a power forward right now. It's awful. Jermichael Green got better this year. They need to sign him so that
Yeah,
way they got a decent power
Their
forward,
team's
but
gonna be really bad then.
awful.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to CJ McCollum.
I'd like to lump these 2 people together.
Beal and
Beal and McCollum?
I think for what they do for their teams, that these contracts are too big.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm with you too.
Yep.
Beal signed his whenever, like Beal's is 1 year longer than McCollum's,
Yeah, is it?
and it was a lot more because he played on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's way too much
Yep.
for the one-sided play that they do.
Yeah.
Yep.
All offense.
Neither one of them play much defense,
Nope.
and their 3-pointers are good
Nope.
if
Yep.
they're good, and if they're bad, they're really
They don't.
bad.
Oh, they're awful.
Well, they can't hit their shot.
Yep. I was going to mention that is that I think CJ McCollum is like a bar higher than Bradley Beal because I think Bradley Beal is probably the most overrated
Yeah,
shooting
Kyle-
guard. I hate
Kyle
Bradley
Garrett
Beal.
really has a hard time.
God,
with Bradley Beal.
he's so overrated.
Yeah.
He
He had that
went for
one year where he hit some shots in
Yep.
the playoffs.
Yep.
And it
And
gave
it
him
wasn't
100
even
million.
that good.
No.
Like, it
Oh, I
was
know.
Like he went this past year. I think during the playoffs, he went 2 of 14 shooting.
3-pointers.
Well, not just 3-pointer. I think overall,
2-14, that's not. Yeah,
that's
he,
awful.
He choked. Yeah.
Yep, and yet they paid him $105 million. I mean
That's
that's
ridiculous.
awful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from those two overrated guys to decent point guard. Go ahead.
He's went downhill.
Who's that?
Drew Holiday.
Yeah, he has. Oh yeah.
I don't know, he got hurt
Yeah, he
a
did.
couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Hasn't
hasn't done anything close to where he was.
Yeah.
What happened this past year? His wife passed away from cancer, so he was out for a couple, like
For
a
a
month
while,
almost.
yeah.
I think.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's been a couple years since he hasn't.
Where
It's really been where he
Dropped
should have
off a little
been.
bit.
It was like Drew Holiday was the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like basically since Davis got there, he hasn't
Yeah.
done.
Which you
What's
The first year they were good together.
Right.
What's funny is that the trade that happened, because it used to be Drew Holiday on the 76ers, and he
Right.
was an amazing point guard. He was an
Right.
89 overall. He was a monster.
Right.
And then they traded Drew Holiday to the Pelicans for the 11th pick, who turned out to be Nerlens Noel.
Well, okay.
And Nerlens Noel went to the 76ers because it could have been Anthony Davis and Nerlens Noel. And
On the
who knows how well Nerlens Noel could have turned out with Anthony Davis. It might have
Yeah.
been the same thing where he's an ant player, but he could have turned out a lot better. Who knows, though?
Yeah. But Drew Holiday's trying to drop.
Yeah,
off a
he's
lot.
fallen so
Yeah.
hard. That poor guy. I
So
feel
that
sorry for him.
contract was signed. How many years?
Just recently?
Yeah, it was like it must have been last year.
Last year, I think so. Yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine him
They
getting
spent
much.
that much money.
I think that, it was just this off season. I think because they
because he's
were
got
worried that he's going to walk away, and so they was like, "Here's some money."
Oh,
Yeah, it was this year because if we didn't trade Paul George, I heard that Paul George didn't say he was going to go to the Lakers. They were talking of us getting Drew Holiday and Dano Gallinari. They were going to try to get them too.
It was just this past year because it's
Wow.
got 5 years.
Yep.
And then that fifth one would be the.
player option.
Player option.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So
So
they-
he just signed it
Wow. That's,
for $104 million for a guy that's been hurt, like what Zach said.
They must have panicked.
Yep, they
They
did.
needed
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Because they have no guards. Like
They
they
really
don't
don't have anything
they're-
else.
They're Rajon Rondo now.
They're back. Yeah.
Do they have Rajon Rondo?
They're back
Yep.
for it.
Oh yeah, because he likes Derek.
DeMarcus Cousins.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah,
Yep.
they're good buddies.
Speaking of big men,
Here we go. The next one.
Ooh, Steven Adams,
That-
$100 million.
that is a disgusting contract. It physically makes me sick to see the next guy down making the same amount
That
as
is-
him.
Yeah.
Like that is gross.
Tenacumbo should be making a lot more than Steven Adams. Steven Adams is a one-and-a-half-dimensional
Like,
player.
even the
He
guy
could-
below Adebayo
Gobert should be
making
making
less money, like that's ridiculous.
Yep.
Like Gobert's solely defense. Adams is just there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, I
Like-
didn't understand that. How many year contract is that? Is it
4?
4 years?
4 year, yeah.
$25 million
Yep.
a year? Wow.
Because him and Steven Adams and Victor Oladipo both signed their contracts like the same day
did they?
for their extensions. So
Oh, okay. Now let's talk about this.
before we talk about this,
Okay,
we got to
go
make
ahead.
sure that we mention Steven Adams' nickname, the rapist.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and let's
He just
get back
looks
into
like
it.
a scary
Go ahead.
guy.
Yep.
Okay, Steven Adams. Let's think about this now. He's on the same team with Russell Westbrook, who's made the $233 million man.
The
He
most
deserves it.
paid NBA player of all time.
Right. And now Steven Adams, $100 million, and on the same team as Paul George and
Carmelo Anthony.
Both
We're looking at
making
the highest
$25 million
paid
this year.
team in American history in any sport. Who's their fifth player?
Andre Robertson, he just
Yeah.
signed a contract extension, I think, for like
For like $5 million somewhere.
How
Yeah.
much?
It's not very much.
It's not
Not
very
very
much.
much.
Well, because they're going to run out of money. This
Yep.
is going to be unbelievable.
Yep.
I don't know how they're going to be able to sign
'Cause
Paul
they're big-
George.
their
Yeah.
bench is gonna be awful. They're gonna have like a bunch of like
They-
$100,000 contracts.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
Because that's a lot of money to pay Steven Adams. He doesn't score. He can rebound, obviously, because that's what his position
He's not very
is.
good at
But he's
defense.
not very good at defense.
Robinson is a 3-year, $10 million per year, so
$10 million? Yeah.
$30 million.
That sounds.
30 million?
But see,
Not
that's what that's what Steven Adams should be making.
Yep.
$10 million a year.
$10 million a year. Yep.
3 years, $30
Yep.
million. And that'd be perfectly
But
fine.
like I could even go up
50,
to like
maybe
15,
15 million.
16.
So
Yeah.
3 year, 45 million.
Because
top-
big man.
Yeah, top big man contract. 'Cause
Top
big
50.
men are hard to find.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
This
$100
$25
million.
$25 million a year. That's for players that can score.
Yep.
Score points. He
that-
can't score
that's
points.
that's for the B+ level people
Yeah.
that are just under that super contract.
Yeah.
of,
Yep.
Like the craziness.
That's, I mean, Carmelo's only going to make 25. I mean,
Yeah, about 25 million or something.
Yeah,
28
I mean,
million.
Carmelo's at near the end of his career, but
Yep.
come on, at least he can score 20 points a game.
Yep.
That's probably one of the worst contracts in the NBA. When you think Steve
Oh, yeah.
Adams,
Yep.
if not the worst,
Yep.
because he's making a lot more than what he should be making.
All right, let's move on to the guy that is.
Oh, here we go.
Just, he is the Milwaukee Bucks. It's the
Yeah.
Milwaukee Giannis. It's not Bucks anymore. It's Milwaukee Giannis.
Yeah, I think that he is
Underpaid.
naive as shit because he could have been the most paid player.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. he
easily.
really took
Like,
a big cut in pay. Yeah.
He's just naive, wanted to be a team
Team
player.
player,
I don't know what
yeah.
you want to call it, but that's just
Is that
ridiculous.
a 5-year contract or a 4-year
Four.
contract?
4
years.
And he just signed it recently.
Yeah,
$25
this
million.
year.
So he probably obviously making more money than he'd ever made before. So
Yep.
but he should have held out or not held out, but got free agent because he could be making probably John Wall
John Wall probably.
because he's going to be an All NBA this year.
Yep.
So he probably get that Supermax.
Supermax. Yep. He'll get it.
So he really, they got themselves a hell of a deal. The Bucks
Yep.
did. I
Yep.
don't know how they talked him into that.
Well, he might have been just like what Zach said. He might have
Team
just
player.
did Tom Brady and just said, "Hey,
Team
here's
player.
some money. The
Trouble
give you
is
some
they don't
talent,
have
salary
enough
cap."
players though to make it worth their while, do they?
Malcolm
I mean-
Brogdon, he's not.
Yeah, but he's still on a rookie contract.
Yeah, rookie contract,
for
yeah.
2
Good point.
Yeah, they had
2
saved
years.
money on him and who's their Singleton?
Middleton. Chris
Middleton.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
bad.
Middleton's making decent money too.
Mhm.
But they saved themselves
A ton of money.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't mention it, but he leads in every category.
for the
Blocks, rebounds, assists, points, steals, all of
Yeah.
it. He leads in all of it.
well, he's a
For the team.
6 foot. How tall is
6
he?
6'11".
Evan.
Small
With
forward.
arms.
Small forward.
Why
At
is
22
longest-
years old.
And has
His
the
arms are the longest,
Oh, it's
probably.
probably in the NBA.
Yep.
He's got
He's
long
got like a
arms,
7'7"
and they can
wingspan.
jump.
He's
and he can
just
jump.
oh,
And
he's
he can-
he's super athletic.
And already he's become their this guy that they go to the
yep.
games at the.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive for.
And he's only been in the league for 4 years.
22-year-old man.
22 years old.
Yeah, so he's a tremendous player.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember watching one game when Reggie Evans, power forward,
Uh-huh.
he was on the Nets, I think, and he's known for being an amazing rebounder. And
Yeah.
you can see his mouth. He asks Giannis, "How old are you?" And he goes, 19. And you can see Reggie Evans' mouth is like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
He just lips
Like,
it.
oh
Like,
boy, we're
wow.
screwed, yeah.
Yep.
We're screwed. He may still be growing. He's
Yep.
may get taller.
All right, let's move on to Rudy Gobert. $97 million.
Yeah.
I still think it's a little much, but they're basically revolving
Big man,
their
Round and
team
round.
man,
Big
he's
man.
tall.
top big man, and they're revolving their team around him
Yeah.
in the post.
Yeah.
Like,
He's getting better. I mean, he's getting better, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his blocking's got up there better. He's actually starting to score a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah.
he's a good
He
rebounder.
can
So.
run the floor. He
Yep.
can play great defense.
Yep.
He led the league. He's an all defensive.
Yeah, he led the league in blocks, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
So he's worth that.
Yep.
Because I mean, compared to what some of these, Steven Adams right above him.
Yep.
100 million, obviously, he's worth that.
Yep.
So that's a good deal by Utah.
Yep. Let's move on to the guy that could have been still with the Utah,
Yeah.
but he left and he took a significant pay cut
Yeah.
because I think he made it all NBA and he just left.
Yeah.
And that's
I
Gordon
mean,
Hayward.
for 3 years though, that's
That's
not
30
bad.
That's not bad,
30
$30 million.
a year. Yeah. So.
I mean, and then the player option.
Option.
Player
So
option.
he's
120
playing
plus.
the smart thing. He's playing that. I'll take this pay for
I-
right now,
I-
but
you know,
I'll
I would take the pay cut for a championship.
to play on the
contention.
championship. That's what I think what he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. With Kyrie
and
now.
He can always opt out of that last year and
Make
get the
himself a
Supermax
good
if
money.
he
Supermax,
wants.
yep.
Yeah. Because there's a chance he may make one of those All NBA teams. Yeah.
Yep.
So he's going for the championship. That's what that's for. 93.6. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another one.
Kyle Lowry,
There's another
$93 million for 3 years.
There's the one that my son Kyle will say he's overpaid.
Yeah, he's
He's never been a big Kyle Lowry fan. I don't think Zach is either.
Not even a little bit.
No, that's overpaid.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
But they were gonna that or
was he free
lose him, and start to have to rebuild around DeRozan, or
Keep
still
them
be able to
together. Keep them together.
every year in quotations.
So maybe that's not that bad a deal. I guess
I mean, their backcourt is amazing, and I mean, I would probably have paid him to keep him there, just because. I mean, there wasn't that much else that they could have done,
right?
Like this free agency, but I mean, I still don't like it. I mean, I would have made it shorter terms, like 3 years. You're kind of locking into paying him a lot of money.
$90 million for 3 years, $93 million, 31. So yeah, you're right.
This next contract is a lot grosser. There's no way in the hell I would have paid him $20 million a year.
Victor Oladipo? Oladipo?
If I wanted to give the other team the ball, I would just have paid them the money instead. Like,
I think we did overspend on Oladipo. Well, we didn't.
It was
a contract
Thunder, and then we got his contract.
So we kind of
because Paul George.
So Oladipo's averages 15 points a game, and he's just an average player. So hopefully he'll turn out be better for us and score 20 points a game. But that is a lot of money.
Yep.
He could turn around and be a lot better because he's going to have a bigger influence.
He's going to be the team. Yeah, he's going to be a big fan. That was a 4-year, 84 million, 21 million. So we spent a lot of money on him.
Yep.
But right now we haven't spent a lot of money on many players. So I guess it's not.
No, our salary cap is pretty low.
Really low.
Yeah, we got Thad and Thaddeus Young are our two most, $20 million for each.
Yeah, so
nobody else really is that much.
Until Turner gets it, and he's on the rookie contract.
Oh yeah, you gotta max that. You gotta milk that all day long. Like that's $8 million.
Unless we sign him to an extension here eventually, we'll get.
Which they probably should here also soon, maybe. Okay, moving on to DeMar DeRozan, the other guard for the Raptors. Now, $83 million.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Isn't DeRozan supposed to be better than Kyle Lowry?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's making less though.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
but then also you gotta recall he's got the player option for an extra $40 million.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'd be $120 million instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
and DeMar signed his.
Before. So
he signed his middle of last year.
I think so. Yeah.
It was last year because he's only played 1 year on it.
Yep.
So it was back when money wasn't
in water.
Right.
Yep.
So they got themselves a good deal on that one.
Yep.
The Raptors did.
Yep.
They may end up having to pay for it here in 2021, but right now that's a good deal for them.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, because they were significantly worse whenever DeMar DeRozan wasn't on.
Yeah, he's got to be on their team. If not, they're starting all over again.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's not good. You don't build a team around Kyle Lowry. You build it more around DeRozan.
Yeah, today's game isn't the mid range, and he is the mid range player.
Yeah.
You kind of almost need at least one mid range player, and he's an excellent one at it.
DeRozan is okay.
Okay, moving on to Otto Porter. $78 million. He has a player option, which is an extra $30 million. So he could make over $108 million, I think.
This is about right.
104.
$104 million? Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And it really sucks because they kind of got baited into it by the Kings.
Was it the Nets?
It might have been. It was some shitty team that had a lot of money to throw away.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And
is that what it was?
They were just like, we don't want to lose him. So we have to
match the contract.
So the other team was going to give Porter that much money.
Yep.
Wow.
The team, they had a restriction on his his contract, where he could go see some other team and they can match it, and so the Wizards are matching it for $78 million. So.
Okay. So they've got Wall.
Bradley Beal and
him, so they're paying a lot of money there.
Quite a bit.
Wow. Porter's a decent player. I don't know, but I guess my point of this whole NBA contracts is to point out the fact that a lot of players get a lot of money that in the old days would never even had any money. I mean, a lot of players are getting paid that probably shouldn't be getting paid this kind of money.
Like, I'm going to go and be biased and go rings wise. Like Westbrook hasn't
got a
ring yet, and he's $233 million.
Right.
Curry, two rings, $200 million.
Well,
James Harden.
You also have to go by that one trophy though that's given out at the end.
MVP for
MVP,
Westbrook.
yeah.
Westbrook.
You're the best player in the league.
And he brings in the fans.
Yeah.
See, he brings in the fans for OKC. They almost have to. Well, they have to pay him because he is their team. If he's gone, then there's back to nothing again.
That's
but
true.
You're right. I agree with you. See, a guy like Blake Griffin hasn't done anything as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, nothing.
Doesn't live to the championship.
The next guy down on the list,
Anthony Davis,
making less than Blake Griffin.
Exactly.
Is just a travesty.
That's
I don't understand
awful.
Anthony Davis.
He signed it 2 years ago?
1 year ago.
1 year? Really?
What?
Yeah, because it's
The
1 year
options.
off. That's 3 years, and then the player option would be 4.
So 4-year contract.
So he signed a 5-year contract.
5-year contract. Wow.
Wow, that's
Awful. So if you look at that, people, that's $76 million for a couple more. So it'll be how much is that? $20 million per
20
year.
million, yeah.
$20 million pretty much per year.
25.
25.
Is it 25?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they've got themselves a hell of a deal.
Hell of a deal.
I mean, if you look at Blake Griffin.
Otto Porter and Anthony Davis aren't even in the same conversation. Anthony Davis
should be near the top of
heads
the
and shoulders above
Well,
the
sure he
second best power forward. Like, whenever I compare Anthony Davis to power forwards, it's the old power forwards that you consider the greatest of all time.
Charles Barkley, Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Because he can score and rebound and play defense.
And play defense, yep.
And run the court.
Yep.
And shoot threes.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much he's all around.
And he can handle the ball.
And handle the ball. He's Antetokounmpo is going to be the next Anthony Davis. That's how good Anthony Davis is.
It is. Yep. Yeah. You're saying this player's going to become the next Anthony Davis.
That's a good sign.
Yep.
So he's very, very underpaid.
Underpaid.
I mean,
I think
there should be a 1 in front of the Davis.
Yep.
That should be $176 million.
Shit. Well, you know what? I'll put a 2 in there.
$276 million.
I mean, he was also another player that signed at a bad time.
He did.
Yeah. Like, because you don't want to leave your team to wait a year to sign the contract.
Right.
And then your team just doesn't want to, sign you to a 1 year. They want to lock
They
him
want
down.
more than 4 or 5 years. They locked him down.
They locked him down, and he agreed to it. And
yeah.
I mean, he was one of the highest paid coming off of a rookie contract.
But looking at it now is
so much more.
Like, by far, I think he's the most underpaid on this list that I'm
probably.
seeing. And then probably Giannis is the next one.
Giannis is, it's those two.
And the next one's probably one of the most
overpaid. Andre Drummond.
Andre Drummond?
He's making the same as Anthony
Davis. Anthony Davis is amazing free throw shooter compared to Drummond.
Well, yeah.
Davis is only like 75%, 76% or something like that on free throws.
Yeah.
But
Drummond's
30.
40%.
40% at the most.
And so,
I think he was actually 30%, I think,
so
this
Davis
year.
out-rebounds him, out-shoots him, out-assists him.
Well, I don't know about the out-rebounds him. Drummond's...
Well, yeah, that's one thing that Drummond does.
The last couple of years,
yeah, Drummond has fallen significantly.
Have been barely double-digit numbers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that was... So they did. Drummond suckered the Pistons.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Well,
remember...
I mean, when he signed his contract...
2020 kind of guy.
He had done...
was coming off of the 2020 season.
He had done very well.
The entire season. He was 2020. Like, I think he finished with like 24-18 or
something like that.
So
he was an amazing player.
Yeah. And then it's just kind of dropped off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think about Drummond when I'm playing basketball.
Whenever you're, talking game changing people, it's not
Andre Drummond.
Nope.
In fact, you want to foul Andre Drummond.
Yeah,
That's why he's not,
yep.
he's not even in at the end of games.
No.
Because he
No.
can't make his free
Yep.
throws.
Yeah, he like anything like during the third quarter, like halfway through the third quarter, you'll see him on the bench.
Yeah.
And the rest of the game too.
Quarter, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't play anymore after that. He plays first 2 quarters, first
yeah.
half, and then sits the second
Because they
half.
won't foul him in the first half. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, moving on to Chandler Parsons, another bad contract.
He's only gotten worse since he's signed that.
He hasn't hardly
just
played
gave
anymore.
up.
Yeah.
If you look back in his earlier years with the Rockets, and then
Yeah,
he was an incredible
he played
scorer.
pretty well.
Oh my
He played
God,
pretty
he
well.
could score any way at any time.
He had a good athleticism too.
Athleticism too. Yep.
He's really
And then he went
dropped
to the
off.
Mavericks, and he still was a really good player. He was in love with Mark Cuban. They went partied all the time.
Yep.
And then this year he just
Didn't do anything, did he? Yeah.
like he was hurt and just didn't do
How many
anything.
year contract is Parsons?
3 years?
That's 3.
Yep,
he,
3
He
years.
signed a 4-year for 94.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. And then he only has 3 years
Oh,
left.
okay.
So yeah.
So that's another overpaid
Yep.
player. Yeah. And there comes another one.
He's actually.
He-
I like him a lot better than Parsons.
Parsons
though.
out Batum.
Yeah, because Parsons has just went to shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Batum's
Can still play.
Steady.
Plays
He
good
stayed
defense.
steady.
in the middle of that terribleness that you just kind of want to keep because he's okay.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Wilson Chandler. He can get you that Swiss Army kind of small forward.
Yeah.
He's good at dribbling the ball. He's not an amazing scorer, but he can score just enough where he can get paid $72 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
and
a
that's
decent player
3
overall.
years too, so it's it's a little over 20 million. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's not a bad contract
Not
compared to Parsons.
Yeah.
Parsons
Was-
just as bad. That's as bad. Serge Ibaka,
That's kind of
$65 million.
In a way, that's low pay for. I thought he'd be making more than that, but he's become.
He's become really goofy.
Yeah.
He has.
Like he's
Yeah.
so up and down and over
You're
the
not-
around.
Yep.
and-
He's trying to become the outside shooter now.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
trying
I was going to
shoot
mention
the
that.
3-pointers and the
Yep.
long 2-pointers.
Yep.
He's staying out the 3-point. I guess he figures that's the way to make the big money. I guess I don't know what.
He just signed that contract, so that's actually not too bad.
It's really yeah.
For the role player position that
Right.
he does.
Right.
But I mean, especially with all the money that's going around.
Around the NBA, yeah.
I don't. He's declined too much for me to want to pay him more than $20 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like from his Thunder days. When
I
That's
know
what- that's what-
when he played defense.
Yeah,
God, he blocked shots. Yeah.
That's
leading
what
the league.
Yeah.
That's what Mike was pointing out, and Zach was just trying to bring up that I was going to mention is that his career has completely altered, just like Blake Griffin's.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin was very athletic. Now he's not
LeBron
as
James.
athletic. He's,
Yeah.
Started out as a defender and
Yep.
now he's
Now
an
he's
offense.
trying to be
Yep.
an offensive player.
Yep, just like
Yeah.
LeBron James too. They completely switched the
Switched around.
roles because, like what Zach said, 2.5 blocks a game. I think he was averaging.
ridiculous.
Yeah, he was an
He
animal on
blocked all the
defensive
time.
end,
He blocked shots all the time.
and he's a good rebounder too.
Like he was Dwight Howard's only competition for defensive
Player
player.
of the year, I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he's just kind of there.
I think what these guys have found out that you can't make as much money if you're just a defensive
Defender.
player.
because it doesn't show up on the
Stats,
sheet.
yeah.
Stat sheet, yep.
I mean, your team likes you, and your coach likes you, but when it comes to
To
the Bucks,
money, yeah. You want to get the money. You
You've
can't
gotta
just go
score.
and just like block or
shots.
not block, but just play really good
defense.
defense.
Now, that
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything like it
And,
used
and
to.
it's a lot offensive heavier in the NBA
League,
in general.
yes.
I mean, the average point totals are plus 100 now, where it was a good team to get 100.
Yeah, I
100,
remember
yep.
that because
I remember
the Bulls used to play was only in the 90s. Yeah, everybody-
Oh, look at
oh, well.
3 years ago when the Pacers went to the Eastern Conference
Yeah,
Finals.
They
They
were only averaging like
Like
94.
94,
yeah.
and we shut the Heat down to 74 points. Because LeBron went 3 of 14.
It was all about
Just-
defense.
it was
yeah.
all about defense back then.
Yeah. It's all about-
Only 3 years ago.
all
Now
about
it's
offense
completely
now.
changed now. Yep. And there's another guy that his whole career has been just all offense, and that's Daniel Gallinari.
Yeah.
And he just got this contract. He's went and did a sign-in trade to the Clippers. So.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
$64 million for 3 years.
I think so.
Yeah, for 20-some-odd million.
Yeah, offensive player.
Yep.
Offensive. He's not home free.
And he's another one that's like a role player that is good enough to make an okay amount of money.
Yeah.
But $20 million is a lot
for him.
For him, yeah.
And this is just
another
gross.
one.
Gorgie. Oh, I forgot the. Sorry about that, guys. Gorgie Dieng. He's a backup center for the Karl Anthony Towns.
That's terrible. That should be like what Steven Adams is making. Like that's a B center.
Yeah.
He's like a D center.
Yeah.
I'll give him a D plus.
Dang.
Yeah, he's gotten better. I was gonna say give him a D plus at least.
He doesn't score very much.
No,
he doesn't. He's a backup, so obviously.
He's.
Why they gave him so much money for?
Defensively, he's gotten better. Rebounding's gotten better, but he's
still always going to be a backup.
He's just going to be a good. The reason why they pay him that much is that they want to make sure they have a good backup for him.
For Towns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Locking a player like that into a contract like that, I guess is doable because they have Cat in his rookie contract.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're not paying Cat, so they might as well
pay somebody to be a backup. Yeah.
To keep
in case something happens.
But,
yep.
Like,
Wow.
I mean, with Cat being there, he's not
ever going to start.
That's just money sitting on the bench.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. Okay, well, those are the top 25 contracts in the NBA as of right now that are guaranteed money.
Technically 26 because we added Wiggins.
We threw Wiggins
added
in there.
Wiggins
Yeah,
in there. This is a good point.
Yeah.
We got
and this is also just the actual contracts versus
per year, like.
It's not including players like LeBron James who are on a 2-year deal.
Yep.
Where he's got a $33 million this year,
Yes.
and then he's got a player option next year.
Yep.
Right.
Otherwise, he would be like close to the bottom of the list with only a 2-year deal.
Same
the
with
rest of them are.
Paul George is on there.
Yep.
Paul George is on 1 year, so he's not on there either.
Yep. Same with Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of 1 year guys.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially, which makes sense because of what we've been talking about this whole time. With all these big contracts coming out, they're just kind of chilling and.
Carmelo's being very smart about this. He's trying to hang on as long as he can till the big money comes out.
Well, Carmelo's not going to be getting big money anymore.
He shouldn't.
If he does, it's just.
It's a waste of money.
It shouldn't, but he's going to get some big money.
Well, when Paul George goes to the Lakers next year, maybe.
Yeah. Paul George is the Lakers. Paul George better hope he can make the All-NBA team, though, I think, because if not, he'll have to sign a contract. Well,
he won't be able to sign nearly as much. He'll do
who?
I can't imagine Paul George being an All-NBA player just because he knows in his head he's only going to be there 1 year.
Right.
And
he doesn't get hurt.
And he doesn't want to get hurt, so the Lakers will pay him top dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
on a team
on a new team
with Westbrook.
With Westbrook being a dominant player,
and Carmelo Anthony,
Carmelo Anthony as well,
that likes to hog the ball,
and that Steven Adams guy
that can score like crazy, and Roberson. So he'll be on a good team, but I don't think he's going to be an All-NBA player. If it happens, that means they have 2 All-NBA players on their team. They'd have Westbrook and him.
It could happen, but it's just new player, and
it's going to be hard for him to have the ball as much.
As he
did when he was on the Pacers.
And especially with Westbrook doing what he does.
Takes the ball down the court.
Has the ball.
Takes all the way to the basket. And scores.
An example of the thing I was talking about with Paul George is with Gordon Hayward. If he goes to another team, he won't be able to make as much if he were to just stay. If he does stay with the Thunder, because they can only offer so much money.
You have to stay on the team to get the Supermax.
Yep, Supermax contract, or they just in general. Even if he doesn't get on the All-NBA, he gets a max contract with the Thunder. But if he goes to the Lakers, he won't get as much. So. Because they can give him a 5-year, but it's only like $100 million. But if he goes to the Lakers, they can only offer him 4 years. I think.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
With the
Yep.
player option.
With the player option.
Okay.
Yep.
I get it. There's a lot of so the NBA. They've. I guess my point of this whole thing is they're making an awful lot of money. 'Cause
Yep.
They're paying these players a ton of money.
Yep.
So I don't know if these owners are just raking in the bucks.
If you think about it, Bill Russell was what,
100,000.
12 years?
Oh, at least 12. Yeah, at least
Yeah,
12 years.
13 years, I think.
Yeah.
13?
Well, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Because
He won
I think
11
he was
rings.
Oh, you're
He won
right. It was
11
12.
rings.
It was 12 years.
Because he won 11 rings
Rings.
and he didn't go to the playoffs the last
Year.
Yep.
Because he's so 12 years.
So 12 years, he
And-
would have only made $1.2
$2
million
million.
at a max.
And we know those first years he didn't make
Yeah.
that, but they didn't pay.
Yeah.
100,000.
12,000 or
1.2 at a
14,000.
max. Like, that's insane for 11 championships.
Chips 11.
Like, 11 out of 12
Years.
years won the title, and you.
Yeah. And one of those years he was a coach.
Yep.
He was a player coach.
Player coach.
Think about nowadays trying to be a player coach.
Player
He could
coach.
do it in those days. Yeah. That's amazing.
And I mean, look at poor Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, he made more than Russell did near the end. I think he's made
Oh, yeah.
$1 million a year or something like that. But still, though, $1 million.
No, I mean,
Of course,
Russell was never like.
yeah.
But he was
a leader.
still there and doing
Yep,
work.
led rebounds and led blocks. Didn't score as much, but he was obviously a leader because he led to 11 championships. And we can't say that about Russell Westbrook
Or any of these people.
Harden, Ole Curry, but that's
I mean,
You know,
Curry's won it.
2 or 3 years.
so that's
Isn't
pretty
bad.
tremendous. Yeah, but all these other look at the rest of these guys. Nobody's hardly won a
Rings, no.
championship.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Very few of them. I mean, only a handful have even been like deep
So-
in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Lowry, DeRozan, Harden was okay. in the
Yeah, he went to the the Western
Of
Conference
course,
Finals.
Ibaka because he was on the Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was
Yep.
on the.
Yeah, they went to actually the finals, yeah.
So there's a few players, but a lot of these players are just normal, average people. They
Yep.
haven't been on
Like
any very
Griffin.
good teams. Yeah, Anthony Davis on a bottom team. A ton of I think the Bucks will end up being pretty decent, but because of him.
Yep.
But really, look at that. If you pay for championships, Bill Russell will be worth like $100 million a year. Because
Yep.
there's no. If you really want to win championships, you should pay the players that win championships.
Yep.
Not just. I
Yep.
mean, Westbrook deserves his money. Don't get me wrong.
No.
Curry does too, and well, all of the top.
Like all these people deserve it, but the person that wins the championships deserves it even more.
Yeah, deserves
Yep.
it more. And that's why LeBron will probably end up getting. Well, he will get the most money
Yep.
of all time.
Yep.
Because he's
He
won
might not do it.
He won't get the biggest contract of all time just because
He's
it'll
at
be
the
a
age of his
limited
career.
year.
Plus, yeah, he's
Like, because these are 5-year, 6-year
Yeah,
contracts,
he's gonna be
and
30.
his is only going to be a
2
year
years,
or
2 or 3 years. Yep.
yeah.
That's what he does. He does that. But I
Two.
feel like his last contract that he
He's
signed,
ever signs.
he's going to make the most
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I think his next 2 or 3 contracts,
So you'll
he'll go small.
See, you'll know when he's ready to retire because that's what you'll
Yep.
know that
Yep.
when he goes for what'd you say, a 4-year or whatever.
Like he'll do 2 or 3
Max.
years right now,
Yeah.
and then he'll do a super max
Max,
at the very
whatever,
end
yeah.
and get the most.
So you'll
then.
know he's retiring that last year.
Yep.
Because he's going to be 30. I think he's 34 now. So he's
Thir-
getting up
yeah,
there.
34. Yeah.
34, 35. So
I
he's
think
getting up
maybe 10 more years or so.
there. Yeah. So that was good, guys.
With that being said, we're going to end this video right here. We got, like I said, 2 more weeks. We're going to go and discuss what we like to talk about during those 2 weeks, and then during the season, we'll just talk about every team and how they're
Yeah.
progressing and go from there, guys.
Injuries, yep.
Injuries and
Trades
and
and whatever's happened.
what's all happening during the season.
Because
throughout
preseason
it.
games have started already.
Yep, they already started. The Nuggets beat the Warriors.
Yeah.
And there was there's a couple games the past 2 days. There's
Yeah.
even more games today,
Yeah,
but there's
so
several games the next 2
We'll
weeks.
be able to
so.
see who's coming on strong
Yep.
in the preseason.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
With that being said, guys, we're gonna